Good afternoon and welcome to Confrontation Reborn. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday. Lots of exciting news about Incarnation is coming out. I hope you've had a chance to follow us on Discord. Make sure you check out the Confrontation Facebook groups so that you can stay abreast on the latest news and happenings. Today, though, I wanted to talk about one of the announcements that they made a while back that's caused a few people to scratch their heads. So suffice to say, Confrontation has traditionally been played on a square miniature base, but they did announce with this new version of Confrontation, now called Incarnation, that the game will now take place on circular bases. Now, for brand new players, this isn't a big deal. Most modern games feature circle bases, so this is par for course for what you're familiar with. But if you are a traditional Confrontation player, you know that your life revolved around the square base. In fact, many people I know who are passionate about Confrontation 2.0 and 3.0 swear that the only correct way to play Confrontation is on a square base. You can imagine that they're a little concerned, though, because with the Confrontation system needing the square base or sort of requiring it when it comes to engagements, many people have spent quite a bit of time to develop these very attractive square bases, and they're not too keen on ripping it apart and starting over with a circular base, especially since that means that they may have to give up playing Confrontation 2.0 or 3.0, since that's a bit of a deal breaker for them to play that game on anything but a square base. But I'm here to tell you that this is not the first time that we've had this conversation. For those Confrontation historians, they may know that the game actually featured circular bases in the past when they announced Confrontation Age of Ragnarok. I can tell you we went through this argument back then, and we're going to have to go through it again. But if you remember, Confrontation Age of Ragnarok transitioned to circular bases. This is also when they made the transition to pre-painted plastic. Not a popular decision. I can tell you that many people say that the reason why the original Rock'em failed was because they transitioned to pre-painted plastic and also because they went to circular bases. And as I entered the game through Age of Ragnarok, so I started with a circular base, so I never really had an issue with it. But I can tell you, whenever I was trying to convert previous Confrontation 2.0 and 3.0 players to Age of Ragnarok, this was always the main sticking point for them. They just spent too much time developing these bases. They didn't want to give it up. And so the game was a deal breaker for them. But I'm here to tell you that there are many simple ways to get around this issue. A lot of companies now have square to circular base transition bases. It's very popular, but I don't even think you need that. So what I do whenever I host a Confrontation Day in Texas is I just pull out my sticky tack. You can find this at any department store. You can find this on Amazon. Goes by many names: silly putty, sticky tack, whatever. It's basically just a sticky substance that you can manipulate. Usually you use this stuff to post stuff on the wall. And what I've done in the past is I've just placed my sticky tack on top of my circular bases. And then I've placed my existing Confrontation figurines that are on square bases on top of this new circular base with sticky tack on it. And as you can see, you now have a conversion to a circular base. And it's really that simple. So if you're playing Confrontation 4.0, let's say that you want to do an engagement, you may think that the square base is going to get in the way, but sure enough, you never run into that issue. In fact, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here so we can get a closer look at that. No issues. You can go all the way around. You can engage. It's as if this square base doesn't even exist. You can even go in the opposite direction. Let's say that you want to play, you want to take the new figurines and play Confrontation, or Incarnation, as I should call it. Not quite used to that new name yet, as you can tell. Not a problem. Get your square base, place your circular base on top of it, press down, and you're good to go to play the original Confrontation without any impediment in the base movement. Now, of course, you always have your traditional impediment. This was part of the original game where the figurine may not allow you to engage because the sword is sticking out, but that's just part of the game. But as you can see, there's no issues. In fact, one of the things I used to do, and I wanted to show this on this video, but I seem to have misplaced it, but I actually had created some special bases for my Thalian Riders. One of the unique things about Confrontation 2.0 is that the Thalian Riders required, or any kind of cavalry unit, use these rectangular bases, and this is not as straightforward to convert to a circular base. So when Confrontation 4.0 came out, all cavalry bases were to be placed on a 50 millimeter base. So it'll look like something like that. What I did was that I actually made a template for my 50 millimeter base, added some rocks around it so that whenever the Thalian rider was placed on top of the 50 millimeter base, it actually blended in with this base. I wish I could show that, but when I stopped playing Confrontation about 3 or 4 years ago, everything went in storage and I have no idea where it is. But you can kind of get the idea, right? Same concept. You place your sticky putty down here. You can decorate your round base so it blends in as well. Go ahead and do that here. Place it down and you are good to go. You can do any kind of engagement that you want without any issues. It's also true with the larger wolf animals. No problem. So you can go both ways. You can go square, you can go square to circular, you can go to circular to square. This has been how I've played Confrontation 2.0, 3.0, and Confrontation 4.0. I enjoy all things Confrontation, so I was a bit base agnostic. And you can see that you can enjoy any game system that you want. So just a quickie today, just to let you know that if you are concerned about the game transitioning to a circular base and you think that that means that you have to tear up your life's work, you don't have to do that. In fact, I have, as you can see here, I have some pieces on a circular base, I have some on a square base. Pretty much all of my Wolfen are on circular bases. As you can see, I really enjoy building up the base itself. That's part of the fun that I have with Confrontation. For any game piece that I don't have a use for in Confrontation 4.0, often called Age of Ragnarok, I would often just go straight to a square base since that piece is only going to be used for Confrontation 3.0 or 2.0. So there are a lot of concerns about the new system. I know we're all talking about what this means for us and how it's going to change the game. I can tell you that if you're worried about square to circular bases, you don't have to be. You can find Silly Putty at any retail store for a couple of bucks. Probably it's on Amazon. If I was a bigger YouTuber, I would have an affiliate link, but it's all right. I don't think I need those pennies from those links. But also one last thing, if you remember back when Confrontation went to the 4.0 system, Rackham at the time had released these new bases to help you convert. I'm sure the new company will do the same. If not, they should. In fact, they might even create a square to circular base conversion kit to make it even easier for you. So let's get excited. Let's stay excited. And I'll continue releasing videos talking about the various aspects of the game. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.